Hello, this is not a spring chicken. Yes, Cons is winding down. We just have a couple more days of that. But of course, watch our Cons coverage day by day. But meanwhile, President Obama taken to the cleaners? Well, not exactly, but Netanyahu stands up for Israel. Oh, yes. And for now, we're going to bring Oldecam on with comments on the headlines of today.
and for not a spring chick's clarification, and she didn't mean cleaner, she meant that our president was taken to the tool shed.
Oh, well, I guess it is a little different, huh?
Yeah, well, she grew up in a nunnery, and they didn't have tool sheds. They just had cleaners for their nunnery outfits.
Oh, and Obama plans to turn Israel over to the Muslims.
Yeah, that went over well with no. They said this president has done something that no other president in American history had done since Israel became a state. He managed to piss off everybody involved.
Ooh.
Both sides of Congress, the Muslims, the Jews, the Catholics, everybody. He got mad at him by saying, we're going to turn over Jerusalem to the Arab terrorists. Remember, that's also a holy city for the Catholics, folks, and the Christian religion. And he's just going to give it to the other side.
Former IMF chief Strauss-Kahn indicted and released on $1 million bail.
Well, I find it amazing that after he agrees to step down, they basically let him out on bail, which he could flee. They said $1 million is a joke to the guy. If he wants to go into Canada, he can basically begin to Canada before they can even do anything. Which means, it means, first of all, how do you know a guy is innocent? That when they can flee and they sit there to go on trial. Yeah.
And Brown releases revised budget plan with $6.6 billion windfall. Okay,
there's so much of a windfall that one of the budget directors is asking, where'd the money come from? And he said that if you have this budget, then why, if you have this windfall, why is he all of a sudden pushing on the referendum to raise taxes to cover up the gaps that they have? If they got $6.6 billion, you don't need to raise taxes this year, but they said Brown has put taxes back on the agenda again and can't tell anybody, he cannot explain where his money came from, which means Obama gave the state $6 billion. Obama has an $800 billion slush fund to play with for political favors.
Oh, that's right. Romney, Obama threw Israel under the bus.
Yeah, and then they threw Obama under the bus because you got to understand. We can try the puppet theater. You know, I threw Israel under the bus, Hollywood community. Don't you understand that we're basically all ran by the Jews? You mean the Hollywood community is composed of Steins and Goodharts and Levines and the Livingstons and oops.
Student loans, government pensions, I buy budgeteers.
Yeah, because they're busted. They said that nobody is paying back the loans because they don't have any money. Obama took over all the student loans and then discovered the system is broke. I mean, everything is broke except he doesn't understand that.
Rapture parties plan to celebrate Doomsday on May 21st.
Yeah, tomorrow the world comes to an end. And they said that the PR campaign is one of the greatest PR campaigns ever done with no money because they actually, people actually think the world is coming to an end tomorrow. If it doesn't come into the end tomorrow, of course, it's going to come to an end in 2012. But hey, people, everybody understand things. Well, we're going to try my puppet theater again. You know, someday I won't actually be talking to myself, but BS says, do you know what 2012 is? And then Monty's kid Rex says, what's 2012? It's the, they're basically the Indian, the South Americans said the world's going to come to an end in 2012. Well, isn't that the year that, yes, it's the year for Obama's re-election by acclamation. Oh, then I guess the world is coming to an end in 2012.
China no threat, Chinese general says on U.S. trip.
Look, even BS doesn't believe that, folks. And BS is very gullible.
Oh. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel rejected the idea as indefensible.
Oh yeah, he's going to divide, he's going to cut, okay, he's going to give 2/3 of Israel to the Arabs, of which have sworn to destroy. I mean, first of all, he's bringing Hamas to the bargaining table, who said that they do not recognize that they want the total destruction of Israel, and he's going to bring the other people that don't recognize Israel as a state to the bargaining table with Israel, that Israel can give them all the kind of land that they lost. Okay, the land is where it sits because they lost this land in wars, folks. Israel didn't start the war, the Arabs started it, and they got their butts kicked. And now they're wanting to be given a perk by Obama. Actually, we're going to try it very simple, folks. He is a Muslim. He tends to do things to favor the Muslims, not Christians, Jews, anybody else. Look at everything he does is to favor the Muslim religion because he is the most Muslim-friendly president we've ever had. They like him 10% less than they like George Bush. They don't respect. I heard a person, one of the Muslims said this morning, that we knew that your president was once again speaking from both sides of his mouth when after he was pointed out that it was an oops moment. That wasn't actually in the thing, and I said it by accident, didn't I?
Oops.
Yeah, and then he says, well, we're not going to vote for a Palestinian state to be created. Which kills it in the Security Council. That's after he promised everybody in his speech. He retracted it like he always does because Obama will read anything that's on a teleprompter. And basically somebody put, that was not in the speech that Netanyahu was given. And here's another one that said, they said, well, there was no excerpts of the speech given out to the press. And then they said the guys in the press room, I had one guy, and he said, well, I don't know where you got that, and then the rest of the press all got the things that were not given out to anybody, which meant it was never in there, and somebody put it in, and Obama just read it, and he goes into his turn, look. And I'm insisting that we stand by the 2000, whatever it is, 69 Accord that was never ratified by anybody, of course, we wouldn't approve. Nobody approved it, but the Muslims approved it, and that's what we're going to stand by. And then they said, I got to be the most embarrassing thing when they hold up sheets of paper and show you, well, I don't know where you got that, when then everybody in the press room's got one. I have one. I mean, I have one that's not, that's not in there, so it was put in after the fact, folks.
And Coburn drops out of group seeking to cut the deficit.
Yeah, because their plan is, the three Democrats' plan is not to cut any of the entitlement programs and raise taxes. That solves no problem. And I heard it once again last night on one of the other channels. Well, actually, you're having economists, the people on the left are saying you got to stop spending money. And what the Democrats' plan is in the Senate is not to stop spending, just to increase taxes and keep the spending on the level that it's at.
And Ryan defends Medicare overhaul and argues that the GOP plan would grow the economy.
Well, yeah, because you're not spending money you don't have, and you're not taxing people money they don't have. But the problem is that Gingrich basically buried the Republicans, and Gingrich says, well, I didn't say that. Everybody in the world knows he said. He buried any chance he had. Okay. We're going to try it. They're not going to elect anybody my age to the office of the presidency at either party anymore. The Ronald Reagan, those guys are no longer around. And Reagan was a politician from the day he was born, and he was a great public speaker. Find somebody else like that today on either party. They don't exist.
And the CDC recommends preparing for all disasters, even zombies. Now, this sounds like something out of...
Rex is just a puppy, and Rex doesn't think that's... He said, you have to understand, Rex says, you know where this came from? It came from the Obama administration. Oh, God, they're likely to say anything.
Actually, we should do a piece on that. That's actually really kind of funny as far as a news piece goes.
The Obama administration is so far removed from reality. I understand.
Well, even Netanyahu said that one.
Yeah, I understand that Democrats all think that the Westerns that you see with Gene Autry and Roy Rogers in the 1940s driving around in trucks actually happened fighting American Indians.
It did, didn't it?
No. They think of what they see on television for real.
Well, there are a lot of people that do think that.
Yeah, unfortunately, they tend to all be Democrats.
Well, and they also forget that reality TV is not really reality. That's why there's Emmys for
writing reality TV. So.
And they actually says it takes more work to write for reality.
Well, because they're trying to...
More writers.
Paris Hilton. my new show is going to be 100% reality, and my scriptwriters have guaranteed that it will be that way.
Spin meter on healthcare. It's Newt versus Newt.
Yeah, the guy basically, he was a guest the program, that Hillary Clinton put up, and he's for the new program that Obama put up, because if it's a guest Republican program, he's for the Obama program. They said he's basically, it's the Captain Kirk moment. Everything that I say is a lie, but if everything you say is a lie, this is a lie, and it means it's not the truth. But if it's not the truth, then it means it's got to be a lie, but it's got to be the truth. He as Greta Van Susteren said, you were in the race when I went to North Korea on Wednesday. On Sunday, it's all over. So.
And the big news for today, of course, is Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, I know. We'll have a review on Pirates for people tomorrow. So.
And a Monty Bubbleism from the Mark Twain of the Animal Kingdom.
Okay, here's one. That if you know a fool is going to say something foolish, and you go along with the foolish thing the fool said, who is actually the fool?
Huh?